All right, we're live. And hi, everybody. Welcome back to Unconventional Asians, where we share stories with Asians who are really authentic, who are forging their own path. And I know it's a new year, and people usually set their goals, their intentions. And I know in traditional goal setting, the SMART goals, it can be really rigid. It gives people pressure, at least for me. And I can never really follow through. But then now there's a new way of doing it is where you kind of set your intentions and you let things manifest. And I find that just a lot more fun and it's less pressure. It's about surrendering to what's possible and, to the universe. So today we have astrologer Esther Lee with us. To discuss how we can use astrology to help set our intention for the new year. So welcome to the show, Esther.
Thank you.
Yeah, so excited to have you here. So I know you have been doing this for quite a while, right? Astrology, yeah. And can you give us kind of a quick overview of what astrology is and how it can help people in general?
Yeah. So astrology is literally there's a saying from my favorite teacher, as above, so below. So whatever is happening in the sky is going to be reflected in our lives and vice versa. Whatever is going to be happening in our lives is going to be reflected in the sky. So what this means is that, for example, let's take a birth chart. So a birth chart is a snapshot of the sky when you were born. And it shows where all the planets were in which constellations. So what sign are you?
I'm at the sun sign is Gemini.
Sometimes Gemini. So what that means is that the sun was in the constellation of Gemini. So the sun's energy was filtering through Gemini's energy, which makes you a Gemini. But also you have a sign in every planet. So you have a moon sign, Mercury, Venus, every single planet you have a sign, and every planet represents a different part of your psyche and personality.
Right.
And then you have something called houses, and the planets fall into different houses, and houses are different areas of life, like marriage or marriage, relationships, and well, those are the same things. Like childhood, home, career. So there's 12 of them. So there's 12 signs, 12 planets, 12 houses. And then you also have the planets. You have something called aspects, and that's when planets are communicating with each other. And some of these aspects are challenging, or some of these aspects are very supportive. So it's like, if you ever meet someone where they're very like stable, but they tend to have very like unstable partnerships, it's probably because they have a challenging aspect between, their sun or moon sign, and they have a challenging aspect with their Venus sign, which represents relationships. So it's really like an amazing tool for self-discovery because it really shows your authentic blueprint. And it also shows you your chart has like, it's alive, and it has, what's it called? It has, I can't think of the word. Right. So your chart has insights, and your chart has guidelines and warnings and options, and it also points out risks. So it's kind of like when you know your birth chart, it's kind of like a cheat code to life.
Wow.
Pretty amazing. It's pretty life-changing, really. And it also shows you what lessons you're here to learn, and also points you in the right direction. Like what am I here to do? What is a good career for me? And when you live according to your birth chart, you have the most, sorry, it's really loud. Can you hear that?
A little bit, but that's okay.
Yeah. Okay. You live the most fulfilled life when you live according to your blueprint. And, most people, when they're on their deathbeds, majority of people feel like they didn't live life. They feel very unfulfilled, and they have so many regrets.
Yeah.
Most likely it's because they didn't live according to their birth chart.
Interesting.
Because most people are, majority, 99.9% of people are conditioned by society, by their parents, by family, friends, and they don't even people don't really know themselves, you know, and then most people are giving up their power and their free will and their authority to other people, and they don't people don't really trust themselves to make decisions, you know. They follow what their parents tell them to do, or what society tells them to do, or worse, what advertisements tell them to do, media, you
Mhm.
know. And
Mhm.
people are giving up their power in this way, and it's no better than being a puppet, really, you know.
Mm.
They're scared to trust themselves. But when you start learning astrology and human design is
Yeah.
astrology on steroids, by the way.
Wow, really? Okay. Because it includes, like, other principles as well, right?
Yeah,
Human
so human
design.
design, it's a synthesis of astrology, the Hindu chakra system, quantum physics, the Chinese I Ching, and one more, the Kabbalah.
Oh,
So
wow.
pretty amazing. And
Mm.
human design is like a guide to life. It like shows you how to do life, and they're both self-verifying systems. They're not belief systems. You don't need to have
Mm.
faith to believe in these systems. It's really try it out for yourself and
Yeah.
see if it works. And if it doesn't work for you, then it's all good. But
Mm.
I love these systems because I'm able to verify them for myself, and it completely changed my life. And
Wow.
it's my life mission to share this information with people and also help people with it. But yeah, I kind of rambled for a long time, but that's basically what.
That's amazing. That's actually such a great description of it. I think you really like solidified the whole summary of what astrology and human design means, because a lot of times people are like, this is too woo woo. Why is it useful? It's just all like, superstition. And I think you really articulated really well to use this as information to kind of have better clarity for our life, which is extremely useful. We all want that at the
Yeah.
end of the day.
Well, the reason why people think that it's woo woo, or it's like what else? What's that other word? Superstition and stuff like that. It's because they're being fed pop astrology. You know,
Right. The horoscopes. It's like, what do you do today type of thing.
in Vogue magazine, like that is no better than like like a fortune cookie, pretty much.
Right, right. Which is completely not based on real valuable information.
Yeah.
We have Adrienne here. It says, does kinesiology and yoga help? Assessing the akashic records, is it real?
I'm not, I'm not going to speak on that because I'm not an expert on those. I'm just
Mm,
astrology and human design. That's another thing. I don't
right.
I don't speak on anything that I haven't verified for myself. So
Yeah.
stuff like Akashic records and angel flames or twin flames or whatever the fuck.
Right.
Like
It's called, yeah, I think it's twin flame. So
all
yeah.
the new age movement is so full of stuff
Yeah.
that is, for me, it's so out there.
Hmm.
And more power to whoever, if it helps you, more power to you. But for me, I haven't verified it for myself. And I'm not
Right.
going to believe in anything that's anything that, oh, like, because I got it off the internet or someone told me,
Yeah.
like I grew up really religious and
Mm,
questioning it at a really young age. And I'm just like, how is this true? Who said it was true, And I wasn't able to verify it for myself, and it didn't resonate. So what verifying if you want to verify anything for yourself, just it has to resonate with you. So yeah,
I love that.
long story short, all of those other new age things, I don't speak on it because it
Mm.
hasn't ever resonated with me.
Yeah, no worries. I love that. And it's so true because there's so much information out there right now. It's like, what do you believe? What do you not believe? But I guess we need to discern it with our own intuition and what resonates with you. So I love that clarification. Now, I know because we went on a tangent there with astrology, but how would you use it to set your intention then? And set your goals for the year.
So I use the moon cycles to set my intentions.
Okay.
So I go by new moons and full moons. To set new intentions, it's every new moon because new moons are all about new beginnings and
Ah.
things. And full moons are really about letting go and releasing what no longer serves you.
Ah.
So you could check the moon cycles, just like you could Google it, or you could like, go on the app and download like a moon cycle app to show you.
Right. On your website, by the way, because I know you have it, right?
No, I don't.
Or no, you don't? Or you usually share posts about it, like
Yeah,
when there's
I
a yeah,
Instagram,
yeah.
Mystic dot Esther.
Okay, perfect, perfect.
Yeah. And what was I saying? Oh yeah, so every new moon is all about new intentions, and then the moon is going to be in a particular sign. This new moon, which is coming up on the 12th, which is Tuesday, I believe, it's going to be in Capricorn. So
Okay,
you could set any kind of intentions any new moon.
okay.
But if you want to go a little bit deeper, then
Mhm.
you get to see what sign it's in. So it's in
Right.
Capricorn, and then Capricorn is like the CEO of the zodiac. Capricorn
Oh.
loves hard work. Capricorn loves
Mm,
Capricorn loves creating something extraordinary,
okay.
and then has like the willpower and the determination to go through with it. That's Capricorn energy.
Mm.
So
So it's kind of riding with that energy when you set this intention will kind of amplify your like your goals. Does that make sense?
yeah, yeah, most definitely, most definitely. And
Okay.
just like it's really a good time to like so and not only that, but it's Capricorn season. So the sun is
Mhm.
in Capricorn and also the moon's gonna be in Capricorn. And so it's really like if you want to like start something great, and you start something new, like the energy is supporting you because like Capricorn
Mm,
support you to do something great and like give you that determination. So yeah, it is supportive in that way. And then on top of that, there's all these aspects that are happening, like I was saying before. And those things I talk about in my like new moon forecast and stuff like that, which you could find me on YouTube. But that's if you want to go really deep. But
mm,
you don't really have to go deep on like new moons. Just know that it's a new moon, new intention. And
right.
how to do that is it's really simple. It's really up to you.
Okay.
Um, there's so many guides. Here's another thing. We just entered. We're in the age of Aquarius right now, and we
Yeah.
just had this major conjunction called the Great Conjunction. I don't know if
Yeah.
you heard about it, but
Yep. December 21st, 2020.
and so it's a time like right now is a time of individuation, and what that really means is really, really trusting yourself, and really like going to the beat of your own drum, which is what astrology and human design really helps you do. So when it comes to setting new moon intentions, like you really don't have to like people, I was saying how people feel lost and then how some people feel like they have to like follow someone else's guidelines. Like don't do that. Follow your own. So
Yes.
what feels good for you? Because the moon energy
Mm,
is all about your intuition. So like I see here's some suggestions. Um, start journaling. Like, what are the things that you want to, and what, like, first start journaling about what you want to begin, what you want to initiate,
right.
and then, or like do something that makes you feel good, like write down everything you're grateful for, or like
Mm,
you could like light a candle to like magnify your energy. There's a lot
mm.
of ways, but it's really, really important that you do it your own way.
Okay, right. So for example, I love to sing and that makes me happy. So it's almost like, sing a few songs and then kind of set my intention after because
Yeah,
it puts me into the right energy. Is
yeah,
that is that right? Okay.
exactly. Like anything that's going to amplify your energy, anything that's going to raise your
Mm,
vibration, do that. Because before, when I wasn't listening to myself, and I was like, when I didn't trust myself, I used to like go by other people's guidelines, and it was so mechanical. It
yes.
was very mechanical, and it was very like I wasn't in tune. So it's
Hmm,
all
hmm.
really being in tune, because when you set intentions, it's all about being in tune with yourself, matching yourself to your, so say if you want to start a business, right?
Right.
It's really important to like be in the feeling and match your vibration to, I want to create a successful business, and just
Right.
feel it. And so you have to do what's right for you to like get into that vibration.
Hmm.
But yeah, What was that?
I was just gonna say it can be difficult because society has programmed us to a point where feeling is really hard. It's like we're so numbed out that we don't even know what we want, right? So kind of like with astrology, it points you and give you kind of a guidance system to what possibly can be there that is more appropriate for us. Is like, does that make sense?
Mhm. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, amazing, amazing. Great. Okay, so you said setting intention wise, will you be using the new moon and then full moon? That's when you release. So can you speak a little bit about that when you let go?
Yeah, so whenever full moons come around, I mean, 'cause there's like so much stuff that we need to release, just so much. So it's for me, I mean, do this is what I do, but like do what like feels good for you. But I like to get in meditation first to like, calm everything down
Mm,
and just really like just start journaling, like dump your brain,
yeah.
because just start journaling, whatever, dump your brain. And as you start journaling, like things are going to come, and then your layers and layers are going to be stripped off. And then you can start making your list of things that you intend to let go. But the thing is, it's really important to, you can't let go of anything unless you understand it, you know?
Mm,
Say if you want to let go of, say if like, say if you want to let go of like your heartbreak or something, you know what
right.
I mean? Like I want to let go of my heartbreak. And then, the thing is, like a lot of times it doesn't work because
Mm,
there's resistance there because you haven't learned
mm,
the lesson yet. You know what I mean?
mm,
So it's really important that you. And the thing is that once you learn the lesson, letting go kind of becomes like a byproduct. It's natural
mm,
when you
yeah.
naturally let it go. So that's why it's so important to journal. It's so important to journal and then like list all the things you want to let go and then like really like journal about it, dump your brain so you could like figure it out, you could figure
Mm,
it out and it's just gonna kind of like it's kind of just a natural process. And then
mm,
another thing, it's so important for full moons is to like clean your house, get rid of everything. Um because your environment is a direct reflection of your inner environment. So you really just want to like clear everything. Yeah.
amazing. So, so for the new moon, when you set intentions, journal, get in vibration, write everything down.
Right.
Do you have
Yeah.
to burn the paper?
So for new moons, I like to keep the paper, um,
Okay.
like fold it, keep it somewhere on your altar or whatever resonates with you. And then when the full moon comes, like
Mm,
read it again and see what has come, what hasn't, what needs to be let go, as far as because as far as like it might not align with you anymore when the full
right.
moon comes, and then when you write your letter of things to let go during your full moon, then you burn those, then you burn them
Mm,
too. Yeah.
I see. So you do this twice a month then, like the new moon and the full moon, because the moon cycle is 28 days, right?
Hmm. Yeah.
Amazing. Okay, Adrienne has one last question. Do you believe in the power of cord cutting?
That's a new age thing that
That you're, yeah,
I haven't
haven't looked into. Okay.
I haven't verified for myself.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sounds good. All right. Now, um, let's see, because this is fascinating. The fact that you know so much, of course, you have been through a lot yourself. And I know on your Instagram, I've remember like a Instagram reel or something that you did about how you were very different 3 years ago versus who you are today. Would you mind sharing your story so that our audience can find out more about who you are and how you got here?
Yeah. So majority of my life I was, oh man. So I'm a 6'2" profile, by the way, which is human design.
Right.
And anyone with a 6 in their profile, the first 30 years are usually incredibly difficult.
Oh.
So incredibly difficult. And they have to go through that 30 years of like extreme life situations to gain
Mm,
pretty much.
right.
So yeah, I had quite the life. I had a
Mm,
lot of trauma and an empath, so I'm very sensitive. So I spent my entire life escaping because
mm,
I just it was too much for me. I'm also a Cancer moon, so I'm very sensitive. So my
Mm.
whole life was escaping. I was escaping through drugs. I was escaping through everything bad you could think of. I
Okay.
did.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
I was really lost. I was reckless. I was the most reckless person in the world. You know, like everybody that knew me, they didn't think I would turn out okay. You know what I mean?
Mm.
So I was so far in darkness. It was really crazy.
Mm.
But I always knew ever since I was a little girl, I always knew that I'd always tell like all those I would be in bed, like bedridden with depression. And I'd always tell myself, I was like, I'm gonna overcome this one day. And when I do overcome this, I'm gonna share it with the world. And I'm gonna like share with the world how exactly I overcame this. And I knew and I had that vision when I was like 8 years old.
Wow.
So yeah, going through all of this shit, and then I actually found astrology 10 years ago, when I was like bedridden with depression, and then it was literally it was like the only light, like it was the only light that I ever had. I was like, what?
Mm.
Like it gave me answers because my I was so lost, you know, I was so lost and I was so buried in darkness, and like it gave me answers, it gave me consistency, it gave me stability,
Mm.
and I became obsessed. So I would
Mm.
be in bed for days and days because I also had an autoimmune disease. I had no idea, but I was sick
Mm.
for a really long time, and it left me like completely bedridden. So I would just be in bed every single day, obsessive, like just burying myself in astrology because it was the only thing that really kept me alive, actually.
Mm.
So it saved my life in that way. And then I found human design, which was whoa, human design is just it's astrology on steroids. So as human design shows you how to do life, you know, and
Mm.
found human design. I was always very insecure and very
Mm.
self-conscious, and I was the most insecure person I ever met in my life. Like I never knew anyone more insecure than I was.
Mm.
And then when I found human design, it empowered me so much,
Yeah.
and it completely changed my life. And it gave me the confidence and the empowerment to actually like even put myself out there, you know, put my gifts out there, like be on Insta. I first started out with like putting posts on Instagram, and now like I'm doing YouTube, and now I'm doing this. So
Yeah, I know. That is so amazing. Wow. Well,
yeah.
thank you so much for sharing your story. Like that was like a vulnerable share as well. I know it's not easy and being here today and just I remember we connected just a few months ago and at the time you were a bit more shy to, kind of do live streams and here we are today in just a few months. So
Yeah.
love to witness your journey. It's amazing. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's actually really easy for me to share my vulnerable stories for some reason.
Mm,
I don't know why, but it was really, yeah, like, let me, so a couple months, I'm going to tell the audience. So a couple months ago,
yeah.
um, Clover reached out to me and was like, "Oh yeah, do you want to do an interview?" And I was like, "No." I'm like, "Is it video?" And she was like, "Yeah." And I'm like, "Hell no, I can't put my face out there." I was so self-conscious, but yeah, now it's like, it's actually not hard for me at all anymore.
Yeah, you're so good at this. It's amazing. Yeah, I'm so glad you came out of your shell and you have so much gifts to share with the world. So I'm so excited to have everyone kind of see what you can do. So would you do readings as well then? Like, do you do chart reading? Because it's so complicated, right? Like a birth chart and
Yeah,
also human design.
yeah, and I actually want to go back and share what else human design and astrology did for
Yes.
me. So I was super super self-conscious and insecure and all that stuff. And the reason why I was able to like push myself out there is because in my astrology chart, it showed that my destiny was to put myself out there and share information. Like my chart literally,
Wow.
that's my destiny. But it also showed that
Okay.
it can be very painful and I have to be brave because
Mm,
my Mars is in my 10th
right.
my my Mars is in my 10th house of career. And wherever Mars is in, it shows you where you need to be brave. Because
Oh, interesting.
if you're not brave in that area, then Mars is going to get distorted. So if I wasn't
Mm.
brave and putting myself out there and sharing information, then Mars is going to get distorted in some way, and it could result in me working for a really tyrannical, angry boss, because Mars distorted is anger, you know? But
Yeah.
the higher expression of Mars is courage. So I was like,
Mm.
okay, it's clearly showing me this. I have to do it. And then once I did it, my first video I put out, it did amazing. I got really good feedback, you know? And so it kind of showed me the feedback that I got kind of confirmed that, oh, I'm really like do astrology is real, you know? So yeah, I just wanted to share that and to, you know, to share how profound astrology could be.
Right. Amazing. I obviously am not an expert, but I try to decipher it for myself and tell me if this makes sense. My midheaven is Aquarius.
Mhm.
So, midheaven, does it mean that it's your purpose?
It's so your purpose is more your north node,
Oh,
and your
okay.
midheaven is it's so the midheaven is the most public part of your chart. So it's your public persona and it's your career as well. So I guess
Ah,
career purpose, they kind of go hand in hand.
okay. Okay.
But
Interesting.
your north node is more your purpose, your destiny.
Yeah, because I was okay. When I found out that Aquarius is my midheaven, because it Aquarius means unconventional,
Yes.
right? And so that's actually when I created this channel, Unconventional Agents, it kind of goes.
Yes.
um, and with my North Node, it is in Gemini.
Nice.
So that's about sharing, right? That's about information and teaching and coaching. And so that's kind of what happened with this channel. I did kind of use astrology in that way to create this brand that is specific to me, because creating a brand is actually really difficult. It's like you can go in so many directions. Like, what do you do? What's the name? And all of that stuff. So it was just
Yeah.
fascinating that with the very limited knowledge I had, like I was able to kind of navigate that a little bit better.
Yep.
So yeah.
Yep. Exactly. Yep. That's exactly right. Um, yeah, my midheaven's in Gemini, so
Oh, okay.
like my career is supposed to be like. The thing is, my north node is really connected with my midheaven.
Okay. How do you tell if they're connected?
It's that goes a little bit more. So you, it's a how do I explain
Yeah,
this?
it's like maybe a little complicated.
I'll get a reading for that.
Okay, okay.
Mhm.
Sounds good. Actually, maybe we can pull out my chart so then people can kind of like see what we mean, because it's very abstract right now. And a natal chart, it's like a circle. And I will kind of show that on the screen so people can see. Okay, so this is my birth chart.
Mhm.
And now what are we looking at? When we, when we look at this, it's like, what is going on?
So your midheaven is, do you see the MC at the
Right
top?
here? Yeah.
So the
Do you
MC,
see my arrow?
I don't see your
Oh,
arrow.
no? Okay. Too bad. Okay. Okay. The MC at the top. Yes.
Yeah, so that's your midheaven.
Mm.
Also, oh, on the far left in that little that box where it says like Sun, Moon, Mercury, Venus, Mars, Jupiter, that chart right there.
Okay. Yeah.
You'll see MC at the far left corner.
MC
And
at the
it says
far left corner.
yeah.
Ooh, where? Oh, yes. Okay. Like the bottom line. Okay. Right.
Yeah, you'll see MC, so that's midheaven. So
Ah,
it'll show, yeah, Aquarius.
right. Interesting. And when you said Mars would be the thing that you have to be brave. So mine is Scorpio?
Yeah, but it's in your seventh house too.
So what
So
does that mean?
you have to be brave. And so the seventh house is your partnerships and your relationships and how you
Ah,
relate to people. So
mm,
really you have to be brave in your partnerships. And but the thing is, you have to get a reading for it. It's
Right, right.
very
This is a
complex.
very general, but you know what? I do actually resonate with that. Actually, that's actually really true
Yeah,
to
you have to
me.
be brave in your relationships and partnerships, because if you're not brave in your partnerships and relationships, then the Mars could get distorted and you could end up with, very like angry partners that try to like over dominate you, you know?
That's actually really true. Yeah, I, I totally resonate with that. It's almost like speaking my truth, setting my boundaries. So hard, so hard.
Yeah. And
But
it
I have been, yeah, been a pushover. So this is definitely very important.
yeah, and
Interesting.
especially because it's in Scorpio too. Oh yeah, you got to be really brave.
I see.
Yeah.
And I've been attracting a lot of Scorpios, guys.
Yep. No, really. Let's see.
And so there's true north. So true north, that means north node, right?
Yep, yep, yep. North Node. So yours is in your first house. Oh, interesting.
So what does the first house represent? Because I have a bunch of things there.
So the first house represents your personality.
Okay.
It also represents like how it's like you're initiating into a new direction. It's really your individuality.
Interesting. And so each house represents an area of your life. And
Mm.
then it depends on what planet and what horoscope it is in, then it determines a certain thing, which is why we need to have someone like you to read it, because
Mhm.
otherwise it's too complicated. Okay, cool, cool, cool. Nice. Okay, I'm going to stop sharing. So the audience, does that make sense? And this chart I found on astro.com, and you just key in your, what is it called? Birth date with the time.
Mhm.
So that's how you get it. Sorry,
Mhm.
going to go back to this format here. If anybody has any questions, let us know. And now that's astrology. How about human design? Because I know there's like several types of energy types, right? So manifester, projector, generator, manifesting generator, and reflector,
Mhm.
right? Now, I'm a projector. Um,
Oh.
yeah, but the thing is, I have this thing done where they're looking at my past lives and all of that. And they said my body is a projector, but my soul is a manifester. So it kind of almost override it. And then it's technically I'm a manifester. So that's very interesting because it's like, what? Like,
Okay.
so then I'm like now a little confused.
All right.
Yeah.
There's a lot of okay. So human design is so simple. It's super
Mm.
simple. It's really all about strategy and authority. And there's like all these other things like gates, and then there's the arrows, and then there's various,
Right, right.
and then there's the body, like projector body, or you know what I mean? Because I'm a manifester, but my body is projector. And there's a lot
Um,
of things. And the thing is, like, to be honest, all of those things just kind of are very confusing. And it
mhm,
takes you away from what's really important, which is really strategy and authority. And because human design is all about really like astrology, it's bringing you to your most authentic self. Everybody is conditioned pretty much, kind of like how I said in the beginning, conditioned by society, conditioned by family, parents, all that stuff. Everybody. And human design just helps you decondition and gets you back to the core of who you really are. So all those other things, I feel like it really makes you further into your not self, because I think it
mhm,
helps you. So strategy and authority is the most important thing. So strategy, I mean, okay, let me talk about authority first. So authority is your inner guidance system. It's your decision maker.
mhm.
And everybody's decision making is a little bit different. What kind of projector are you?
Mental projector.
Mental projector. Okay, got it.
Yeah.
And so for as a mental projector, you have are your authority is so your authority is it soundboarding? Is
Soundboarding, that's right.
got
So
it.
I have to talk to another person to hear myself, and then decide.
Exactly, exactly. And then does that work for you, by the way?
It does. It it does. But sometimes it's hard because I'm a very independent person. Oh, and it's almost like I feel like I need to rely on another person to talk about things.
Mm.
But I've been lucky enough to be living with roommates at this time, and I had the luxury to do that. And I realized how useful that was.
Yeah,
And yeah, so I guess it does work.
got it, got it. Yeah, so, what was I saying?
So there's the strategy, it's how you make decisions, and
Mhm.
then the authority. What is authority?
So authority is it's your tool to lessen to not lessen, yeah, minimize resistance pretty much.
Mm,
Because we're always like running into resistance and things like that. And for a projector, how you release resistance is wait for the invitation,
right.
right?
Which I'm very bitter about. And that's the not self as well. The theme is like when projectors are misaligned, we become bitter. And but then I'm bitter that I have to wait for the invitation.
Yeah, I,
It's like, can I just do things?
yeah. They say it takes 7 years to decondition
I know.
time, but it makes sense because it took us. How old are you?
I'm 36.
36. So you have
Yeah,
36 days of conditioning. So it
right.
makes sense that it would take that long to decondition, but it's worth it. I honestly, I think
Yeah.
I wish I was a projector.
Really?
I'm a
I wish
manifestor.
I would be a manifester. I wish I'm a manifester.
Everybody wishes they were manifestors, but the thing is that it's hard being a manifester. It's really hard.
Why is that?
So
Because don't you like just get things done and get things manifested?
being a manifestor is very lonely. It's incredible.
Mm.
Manifestors are the most loneliest people on the planet because
Aw.
we have repelling auras. So what
Mm.
that means is that like generators have auras that are enveloping, or it feels like a warm hug. Projectors
Mm.
have an aura that's very penetrating. That's why
Right.
projectors make the best coaches because you could when you meet someone, you take them in, you swallow them,
Yeah.
so who you see people, you know who they are,
Right.
and and people love projectors too. That's the thing. That's why you have to trust that you're going to get the invitation. Just
Mm.
trust you're going to get the invitation, and you will because you're so gifted. Projectors have gifts.
Mhm.
Projectors are the ones that are you're supposed to be the leaders. Manifestors used to be the leaders. We used to run,
Right.
but that shit stopped in like 1781, I think.
Uh,
And then now manifestors don't really we don't run shit anymore. Projectors do, but projectors don't lead by projectors lead by guiding. You're leaders because you guys guide. You guys don't lead by leading people. That's like a manifestor
mm,
thing, but the world doesn't work like that anymore. But yeah, I was saying manifestors are the loneliest people on the planet because our auras push people away. It's kind of like get the fuck
mm.
so I could do my thing. And people think it's cool because we could do manifest or do what we want anytime, but it's really lonely because we meet a lot
Mm,
of resistance because our auras kind of people are kind of like, oh,
repelling. Yeah, yeah. Because it's too powerful almost, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
Or it's very unsettling for people. And like every single manifestor I met and my entire life, we all feel like nobody likes us. It's always a
Aw.
struggle, and that's why I grew up with such low self-esteem and low self-worth,
Mm,
always feeling like nobody liked me and all that stuff.
mm,
And so self-conscious. And then when I found out I was a manifester, I was like, oh, this is at first when I found out I was a manifester, I hated it because I was like, my entire life I struggled with the fact that people didn't feeling like people didn't like me. And then I find out, oh, people don't like me because of this, and there's nothing I could do about it.
mm,
And I felt very disempowered. So I thought it was really
mm.
funny that people want to be manifestors because I was like, I don't want to be a manifestor. I want to be a projector.
That's interesting. You always grass is always greener on the other side.
Yeah, because projectors are your signature is success.
Mm,
And my signature, manifestor signature, is peace. I want success,
Ah.
you know?
I want peace. How can we trade?
But then figuring out that it's so as a I figured out that, or not figured out, I discovered that my purpose as a manifester was to create impact
Mm,
and I can't really be like, life on earth is so short, it's like a blink and a
yeah.
eye. So I have to be more concerned about what kind of impact do I want to make. Manifestors have a really big responsibility of, because we're creating impact wherever we go, whether we like
Mhm.
it or not. And unaware manifester is very dangerous,
Mm.
The some of the most evil dictators in the world were manifestors, like
Oh,
Hitler
wow.
and um,
Okay.
George Bush and stuff like that. So it's really important for manifestors to be intentional with the impact they make. So basically,
Mm,
I I realized that I was wasting my time being so concerned if people don't like me and they don't like me. I was like, I'm gonna start being intentional about the impact I make. And then once you get aligned with who you are, that's when people start coming. That's when,
yes.
because manifestors could be very magnetic as well.
Mhm, mhm.
So yeah, so I went into a tangent.
No, I love that. So it's basically owning yourself, whoever you are, regardless of what society says.
Yeah.
And that's when you become magnetic, and that's when you manifest, regardless of what type you are, in a way.
And that's when you get into alignment. So you get into alignment first by using your strategy.
Mm,
And then to get into to make decisions, you
mhm.
with your authority. Yeah.
Right. So an example then would be me being a projector. So my authority is to wait to be invited, right?
Your
Or is the strategy? Sorry, strategy is to be wait to be invited, and
Mhm.
my authority is to be a sounding board. So basically, I have to talk to other people and to decide on important things
Yeah, because you're gonna hear your truth come out as you talk about it.
as I talk about it. Okay. And does it have to be everything? Like when I decide on minute little things, does it matter? Like, do I have to like use this
Um,
method every single time?
well, for like important decisions, yeah, but not small decisions like to what do
Not the small little ones. Yeah.
not like what I want to eat today,
Right. Right.
but things that are going to impact your life. And also, what else? I was going to say something else. So I have ADHD. I'm all over the place.
Yeah. Yeah. No, not at all. No worries. Yeah.
I totally forgot what I was going to say. I'm sorry. All right, go on.
It's okay, but I do have a question because we did address manifestor and projector. We don't want to leave out the other people, so might as well explain them. So, actually, manifestor, what is your strategy?
So my strategy is to inform.
Mm,
Um, it's funny because Ra, the creator of human design, he says it's not even like a real strategy.
okay.
It's the only reason why we need to inform is so we could create less resistance, because a lot of
Mm,
people kind of resist manifestors, and we're kind of,
right.
our energy is like, get the fuck out the way,
So it's kind of like I'm giving you a heads up before I run you over, like kind of
Exactly.
thing. I
That's
see.
basically what it is. And that's the thing about our strategy. Like, our strategy is, so manifestors, if manifestors want to be in a community and have friends and get along with people, then that's what informing is good for, because
Mm,
and then when you inform people, a lot of the times people will support you, they'll be like, oh,
yeah.
let me be on your team, like, but what was I saying? But if you're a manifestor and you want to be alone and you don't care about anybody, then you don't have to inform.
I see, I see. But you want to be in harmony with others,
Or-
inform other people first before you do things. I see. And then what is your authority? That depends on your specific type, right? Does
yeah.
manifestor have a specific type?
So yeah. So so there's three authorities for manifestors, and it's splenic, ego, or emotional. So
Okay.
mine is splenic, and splenic is it's your intuitive center.
Mm.
And it's really like in the moment. When you have a splenic authority, you only know what you know in the moment. So to be honest with you,
Oh,
it was really difficult for me. When you emailed me the interview questions,
yeah.
it was really difficult for me because I only know what I know in the moment.
Interesting. Okay. Which is great because I actually prefer that way. But I wasn't sure. That's why I'd rather give you the questions just in
Oh no,
case.
no, that's the
But
thing. like that's how society runs. It's like
Right.
that's exactly how it should, and that's why I had such a hard time my entire life because I didn't know how to function. You know, like
Mm,
I'd be like, oh, there's something wrong with me. There's something wrong with me.
right.
I have these things I need to plan for, you know,
Right.
or structure, and like my brain, my energy doesn't work that way, so I would always fail. Like I'm a college dropout. Like I suck at school. I suck at any kind of thing where I have to plan, you know. I
Mm,
felt so incompetent, and I was completely debilitated by depression, and because I felt
mm.
competent. And then after human design, I'm like, oh, this is actually a superpower of mine, you
Yeah,
know, to
I
be,
love that.
to be in the moment, you know. So that's why when right before when we were talking, I think I mentioned I won't really know until you ask me.
That's amazing because I actually operate the same way. I'm
Yeah.
also in the moment, which is awesome.
Mhm.
So for the people out there who resonate with that, we are not broken. It's not a bug, it's a feature.
Yeah.
Like,
It's really a superpower actually. And I know
yeah,
there's a lot of splenic authorities. I know there's a lot of people like me and a lot of unconventional people too that don't
yeah,
really fit into like the mold, you know, the
mhm,
society's mold, and they feel like defective. And I know a
exactly.
lot of people that struggle with that.
Yeah,
So that's why
and
that's why I decided to, you know, put myself out there so I could like help people. But sorry, I
yeah.
went to a tangent. Let me go onto the other authorities. So
Yes, I love that. That was great. So then let's go to generators because that's the majority of the society. Was it like 35% or something, or generators? 35% are manifesting generators, right? So let's cover those.
yeah, so it's actually
So
35. So yeah, it's like 35%, generators and manifesting generators. And the thing is, they're both, there's kind of a, what's the word? Controversy. There's a little bit of controversy over it. Um,
okay,
Original teachings of human design, generators and manifesting generators are lumped into one type.
right,
And then there's like there's like other beliefs where they're like two different types.
right. I
There's
see.
even a, there's even a belief out there where they say manifesting generators are half generator, half manifester.
Oh,
In my opinion, that's totally not right.
okay, okay.
It's it's people that get it's people that have got human design kind of interpret it their own way, but the original teachings of raw manifesting generators and generators are one type, but
Mm,
manifesting generator is just like a different type of generator, if that makes sense.
I see. Okay, okay.
So
So then their strategy and
authority is
authority is the same.
the same, yeah. Because
Okay.
what makes a generator is that they have a sacral,
Hmm.
and no other
So they
types.
have energy.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
could generate their own energy.
Exactly. They have consistent generation. So they're like generators are called generators because they're like batteries. You know, they're generating energy. They're generating this life, and they're here to work. Like only generators are here. Only generators could work like like the
Nine
40,
to five.
9 to 5,
Yeah.
40-hour work week and consistent work. Like generators have the energy for that. The other types don't. And then
Right.
the other types like you, me, reflectors, they if they live their life like a generator, they feel incompetent because we get so burnt
Yep.
out, we get so tired, and we feel incapable, and we have low self-esteem.
Hmm.
This is why human design is amazing. you know?
Yeah. Yeah. Then to justify that, hey, we're not being lazy. We are just not
Exactly.
born with the generator battery.
Yeah, exactly. Because a projector's one of the projectors shadow is feeling, being shameful, feeling shame because they feel lazy,
Yeah. All the time. It's like I'm not productive, but I'm tired. Like, yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, the generators, it's really, really important for generators to do the work that lights them up because
Mm,
they're putting energy into that work, And if they're putting their energy into the wrong type of work, that doesn't light them up, then they could get like physically ill. They could get mentally like they get miserable and sick. And so many people are miserable and sick, and having adrenal fatigue and autoimmune diseases and all kinds of stuff.
yeah,
So
that's 70% of the population, right? So
yeah, and most people are miserable, a lot of
yeah.
so it's really important to and this is where the strategy and authority comes in. So generators use their strategy of responding. So responding is generators are like has life coming to them, has all these opportunities coming. And a generator's strategy is to respond to whatever comes their way, but then using their inner authority to figure out if it's the right thing for them. So that's your inner guidance system.
I see. So it's like yes or no. Like, do I want to pursue this opportunity? You don't have to say yes to everything.
Exactly. So you tune
Mm.
into yourself, your sacral, or they might have emotional authority.
So
So
what
your
does that mean?
so a sacral authority is it's kind of cool. It's actually pretty cool. So sacral is like your gut response, and you could tune into it and be like, do I? And it only answers to yes or no questions. Do I want to take this
Oh.
job? And you tune in, and it's like a mm-hmm or mm-mm. You could even do it like say it out loud yourself, mm-hmm or mm-mm, and you'll know because it'll be like mm-hmm or like mm-hmm.
Interesting. But that only applies to people who have the sacral
Yes, so that's
defined.
generators or manifesting generators if your inner authority is sacral. Sometimes your inner authority could be emotional authority, and
Yeah.
that's when you need to sleep on big decisions. There's no truth in the now for emotional authority. And projectors
Mhm.
and manifestors could also have emotional authority as well, by the way.
Okay.
And people with emotional authority, they have these like emotional waves, their emotional highs or emotional lows, and it's do not make decisions when you're in an emotional high because a lot of people do with emotional authority.
Mm.
They'll feel so happy and so high and make this decision on it because they'll feel high and then they're gonna regret it, or like feeling low
Ah.
and regret it. So it's really to sleep on it until you get clarity.
I love that. That's so good. Very fascinating. And how can people get their information on what type they are for
So
human design?
so you could honestly you could just Google like human design chart. Or you could go to jovianarchive.com.
Mm.
Or you could go on my Instagram and click my link. I have the link in there, and then you need
Okay.
to type in all your birth details. You need your exact birth time and your birthday
Mm.
you're born, and it'll show. It'll be really like intimidating because it'll show this crazy chart, but you'll see. It'll
Yeah.
type, show your type, and then it'll show your inner authority and your strategy.
Amazing.
Yeah.
So great. Thank you. So, in summary, basically, is that if you understand your astrology and your human design, then it'll give you a better guidance system of who you authentically are born to be. And then we can stop beating ourselves up for not following societal conditioning.
Yeah.
And then you can live a life truly that's aligned to you, then you'll be much happier. And that's the whole point of the unconventional Asians, because we want everyone to be authentically themselves. So where can the audience find you so then they can, find all this information? Because I know you post a lot of great, great, great valuable information.
So you could find me on Instagram. It's at mystic dot like a period Esther Esther, and
Yeah,
I actually just launched my YouTube channel yesterday.
amazing.
I titled it Alignment Theory.
I love it. That's really good.
Getting
And
into
so what is it going to be about?
it's about so it's basically a channel of I'm going to be educating on human design and astrology, and sometimes I'm going to do like forecasts and stuff like astrology forecasts and stuff like that.
Mm,
But it's really a place for aligning yourself with the truth of who you are through astrology and human design, and it's a place of healing, empowerment, and one more thing, self-discovery. There you go.
amazing. Oh, I look forward to that. And I know you also have a jewelry thing on the side.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My jewelry is Mystic Rebel.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And like, does it have like certain energy in it? Like what, like are they healing stones? Is it kind of related to anything? Like to spirituality?
Yeah, so I do use crystals and healing stones and stuff like that. And then I cleanse them with sage and I charge them under
Oh.
the full moon, and it's I call it jewelry for modern mystics.
Mm.
Yeah,
Nice.
that's
Yeah. I remember seeing them. They're really pretty. Like it's very classy and very dainty. Yeah. I really
Thank
love it. It's amazing. And how can you use jewelry to enhance like yourself?
so
Like your energy, like obviously appearance, yes, but I mean energy.
Well, like whatever tone I want, like say if I want like more abundance and more wealth, then I'll wear citrine.
Mm,
I want to if I'm like one time I was heartbroken, and so
mm,
rose quartz it's really good for that. And I literally held my rose quartz and I like prayed, I was like praying to the God universe, whatever you want to call it,
yeah.
and I was praying like to help my heal my broken heart and to like
Mm,
rose quartz with like healing energy. So like when I wear it, it'll like
got it.
you know, stuff like
Yeah.
that. And so yeah, you can use crystals for that kind of purpose, or like even
Mm.
clear quartz is really good for just amplifying energy. So if
Oh.
you want to get a clear quartz and like meditate with it, and you're like, I want to channel like whatever energy you want, like healing energy or abundance energy or anything. It's kind of like an amplifier.
Great to know. Amazing. Awesome. Thank you so much, everybody, for watching. That was amazing. And yeah, because we got so much information out of this, but
Yeah, I feel
be
like I was
sure to.
all over the place. Sorry.
No, it was amazing. No, it was great. Be sure to check out Esther's YouTube video because this could be hard to remember with all this information, but I'm sure you're going to have more bite-sized videos so then people can refer to, which I will definitely visit. And so, and your jewelry um, business as well, because you're pretty affordable and really pretty. So,
I didn't know you're a projector. That's awesome, by the way.
really? Like, no, here I am being very bitter, but hey, we should embrace who we are.
You know what? You're actually like living, you're doing a really good job at aligning with your chart because
Mm,
your north node is in the first house.
okay.
First house is really, really like it's all about you. It's really like
Okay.
showing it's the archetype of Aries, and Aries is
Right.
like, I am here, I'm here and
Mm.
this is me and this is my individuality. And
Ah,
doing this like podcast that you're doing, it's really that. And the fact that your midheaven is in Aquarius,
yeah.
the whole unconventional part, yeah, it's really good.
Good, good. I'm glad because I do have this guilt of feeling like if I talk about myself too much, that would be off-putting. So
Hmm.
that's interesting that maybe this is giving me permission to actually be okay with sharing my own stories.
Yeah. Is your ego defined or undefined?
Undefined.
Undefined. Okay, got it, got it.
What does that mean if it's undefined?
I was just wondering because people with defined egos, they do tend to talk about themselves more. I have my ego
Oh,
defined, by the way.
okay, okay, okay.
And it's I'm an ego manifester actually. That's a type of
Mm.
so it's like I kind of just like naturally do that. I was just wondering, but yeah, no, it's totally fine that you do because you do have your north node in there, and you have a packed first house actually.
I know, it's, like, full of planets. I'm like, "What's going on there?" So does that mean it's, like, it's all about me and my personality? Like
And it's like if you see a lot of planets in that certain house, it's going to
yeah.
be a big theme in your life.
Oh, I
And
see.
a lot of times, when you have a packed house, a lot of times you could experience a lot of difficulty in that house too.
Oh, I see. Okay. Hmm.
And
Good.
also, wherever your north node is, it's going to be challenging because it's uncharted territory.
Mm,
So, when you're talking about when I saw your chart with Mars in there in your seventh house, it's like
yeah.
I could
Yeah.
I could see immediately that there was power struggles in your relationships and um, boundaries. Boundaries was a huge thing. Like if you have your
Yeah.
north node in the first house, it's that's a huge one of your biggest lessons is to learn boundaries actually.
Oh, okay. Alright. Very good to know.
You being a projector too, that's another thing. Projectors
Yeah.
need to learn boundaries too. It's really
Oh my gosh.
very interesting because your birth chart, your astrology chart, and your human design chart, it'll it'll match.
Oh, right, right. Because it's part of human design.
Yeah, and it's just like,
That's very
whoa,
interesting.
it's really cool. It kind of
Hmm.
works together, but yeah, like I could see
Yeah.
that with your life
Hmm.
with boundaries. But projectors need I want to say this because it's very important for projectors, but it's so important for projectors to learn boundaries because
Okay.
whoever projectors are naturally plugging into people, and
Right.
taking
Yes.
people in.
Mhm.
And if projectors just take any a lot of times projectors love being invited, projectors
Yeah.
love need to be recognized, and that's
Right.
totally
I
fine.
know, and I feel guilty too. Sometimes it's like I want to be seen, I want to be heard, but I feel guilty.
Don't get that out of your head. But yeah, projectors are what was I gonna say? I've seen a lot of not a lot, but I've seen some projectors where they'll just say yes to everybody.
Right.
And but the thing is, those a lot of those people aren't correct for them. A lot of those people are toxic, or
Mm,
just not correct for them, and then they're taking
mm,
them in, and you're taking
right.
energy. And the thing is with projectors, because you take in and absorb people's energy, you don't have any protection, you know.
Right.
So your only protection mechanism is your strategy and authority.
I see.
So
Interesting. Hmm.
that's why it's so important for projectors to learn boundaries.
Mm.
You know?
And especially being Asians too, because like there's the conditioning of like, always saying yes and just being submissive. And it's just like, plus I'm a flight attendant. So it just like literally everything about my life has always been like,
Really?
yeah, just like say yes to everything. So
Yeah.
this is such a big lesson for me. Well, thank you for sharing that. That's really good to know.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. I'm trying to like think of, oh, it's already passed. Is it
Oh
okay?
yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think, because I felt like I rambled so much and I just want to like say some key things that are
Hmm.
important, that
Yes, absolutely. Yeah.
I think types should know about. Um, let's see. Oh, Jessica Tron, manifestors. Nice. But okay, for manifestors, I think I already mentioned this, but it's so important for manifestors to become very, very intentional about what kind of impact they're going to make, because
Mm,
manifestors are making impact no matter what. And
yeah.
so manifestors have a very big responsibility,
Mm,
because manifestors have the capability to literally ruin people's lives, if they're
wow.
unaware, and just
Mm.
because a manifestor's not self-theme is anger.
Oh, okay, I see.
Yeah, so a lot of manifestors are just angry, and be like,
Mm,
so
I see. And I just realized that we totally forgot about reflectors because you're
yeah,
really, really rare, but we should address that.
okay, so reflectors are 1% of the population,
Yeah.
and reflectors are very,
Mm,
very special beings, incredibly special beings. So reflectors they're kind of like they're every community needs a reflector, by the way. Reflectors are the barometers of health for a community.
mm,
So reflectors know what is wrong and will like say like in a community they'll say they'll know exactly what is wrong and what needs to
mm,
you know
mm,
they need to like let everybody know pretty much.
mm.
They're kind of like the weathermen, you know
I see.
and
Very interesting because they have no identity almost of their own, right? So they're literally just absorbing everybody's energy, and so that you can reflect it back to the community. Is that how it works?
so reflectors are completely open as far as their centers. So yes,
Right.
they are like the, so reflectors are this is from the words of Ra. Reflectors are
Mhm, mhm.
born to be conditioned. That's the words of Ra. And to be completely honest, it's really hard to understand. No one really knows about reflectors unless you're a reflector.
Mm,
Not a lot of reflectors out there. And the thing is that nobody could really tell a reflector how do I explain this? Even not even just reflectors, like I can't even tell an emotional authority like what it is to be an emotional authority. You know what I mean?
right, right.
Like a little guideline. It's just like a guideline, and
Mhm, mhm.
like you have to live it for yourself, and then you could like tell the world of what is it like to be a reflector.
Right,
To
right.
be a reflector, you're a lunar being, and then you
Mhm.
make decisions based on the moon cycle. So big decisions though. So if there's a big decision that you need to make as a reflector, you wait 28 days. You
Oh,
know,
wow.
or wait 28 days like, you could journal about it and you could contemplate, you could talk about it, you know what I mean? But then after 28 days, then you get clarity and you make that decision.
Mm,
That's just a guideline. And that's just something I learned learning human design. But I have no idea. Nobody knows either. But
right.
you have to do it for yourself and you will know pretty
And
much.
see if it works. Yeah. I actually know 3 reflectors in my life, which is quite rare because it's rare, right?
Yeah.
And mental projectors apparently would be the closest to a reflector because I only have 2 close or defined centers and everything else is open. So it's interesting because I think we absorb other people's energy really easily, that we basically become a chameleon like
Mhm.
to our environment. So that's kind of like what I gather from like being kind of close to being a reflector.
So reflectors are, it's so, so important for reflectors to be in the right community. So
Yeah.
if you're a reflector and you're unhappy, it's because you're in the wrong community.
Mm.
Is everything to a reflector. And the thing is that reflectors don't really absorb energy at all. They
Oh, okay.
kind of like Ross said it perfectly. He said, when people are skipping stones on like a lake,
Hmm.
he said, and then the stones just skip off and they don't ever
Yeah.
go in the water. He said the water is
Ah.
there and the stone is everybody else.
Oh, interesting. Oh, that's a really good analogy. Ah, I
Hmm.
see. Cool.
I'll never
Cool.
know what that feels like being a reflector. And the thing is that
Yeah.
you would think that you would relate to a reflector because
But still not really. Yeah.
it's not at all. That's a thing. Because
Mm.
I have 3 defined centers. I'm pretty open as well.
Mm.
Is that just makes people like us very like we're so conditioned,
Yeah.
by our open centers. And then Ra was saying that for reflectors, it's because he did mention that he was like, no, it's not the same at all.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Um,
Okay.
And the thing is, like, even though I learned it, it was still kind of difficult for me to like grasp. I
Mm.
was like, I will never know because I'm not a reflector.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so that's I'm like, so it's just yeah. So I think the best thing would be talk to a reflector.
Yeah. And see how they feel.
Yeah.
Amazing. All right, I think we covered most of our topics. It's a really big one. And again, go to Esther's page because it's way more digestible in the Instagram post and all of that stuff. And then you can follow the new moon and the full moon and what to do and all that as
Yeah.
well.
Oh, can I
So,
talk about the new moon real quick?
yeah, of course.
Okay, I think I already spoke on it, but this new moon is really, really important because it's the first new moon of the year. It's in Capricorn season, and the moon is in Capricorn. The sun and the moon are in Capricorn, and also there's some really, really important aspects that are happening that day.
Okay.
Um, yeah, so the sun is going to be right on Pluto, and sun the sun is going to be in Capricorn, Pluto's going to be in Capricorn, moon's going to be in Capricorn. Long story short, the energy is very powerful. And then with Pluto in the mix, it's like that is even more powerful. So whatever intention that you're going to set, it's going to be really, really supported by these energies because Capricorn
Mm,
is like the boss CEO, like get shit done. And Capricorn loves climbing huge mountains, has like the energy and the determination, to do that.
mm,
So if you want to like start your own business or start something huge, or even if it's small, but really like if anything, like it's going to be supported. So it's so important. And then I know I described doing what really, really feels right for you. But if you want to know what I do is I first meditate and then I journal by dumping my brain,
yeah.
because sometimes you don't really your truth will be buried under layers and layers of stuff that you need to dump.
Yeah.
So I journal and then get really, really clear in your intentions and then like write them out. And then also when you write your intentions next to them, write what actionable steps am I going to take? Because writing down your intention is not enough. You need actions to back it up. And then if it resonates with you, if you want to like light a candle, because fire is magnifies energy, then you could like light a candle and you could like meditate with your candle, but whatever makes you feel good. I don't want people to like follow my thing if it doesn't resonate with them. Does that make
Oh,
sense?
perfectly. Yeah. Amazing. Great. Thank you so much, Esther. This has been so, so, so helpful. And
Yeah.
I learned a lot myself as well. And I hope that the audience did too. So make sure to check her out on YouTube, on your Instagram as well. Okay. Thank you, everybody, for watching. And we'll see you next week.
All right. Thank you so much. Nice meeting